It's a joint status report and the government's unopposed motion for an extension of time. Jack, well, I thought you were ready like now. Why do you need a delay? Oh man, that's so embarrassing. So accordingly, the government requests that the court enter an order requiring the parties to submit another joint status report by Friday, August 30th, and continuing the scheduled status conference until a convenient day thereafter. Judge Chutkan, that August 16th date is not a good date. They've already been racing this case to trial. The fact that Jack Smith is backpedaling right now means their case is not good. He's scrambling to try to figure out what to do about it. Jack Smith scrambling around trying to figure out what to do about the immunity ruling from the Supreme Court, might result in his indictment having catastrophic problems. That means the entire case might go bye-bye for him. And so we're going to go through what we see here is a joint status report from the government. So this is from Jack Smith. You can see down here his team. It's also signed by Trump's people because, of course, they're not going to oppose this ever at all. They've been demanding, in fact, extensions of time, but now we're going to see Jack Smith is scrambling, asking for an extension. So they're going to say, yeah, sure, take all the time in the world you want. We've been asking for it since the beginning, but okay. You remember Molly Gaston? We haven't heard from her in some time. The highlighter gal. She was very excited about her discovery, even though there's like 8 million, 13 million, 15 million pages of documents, more than Walmart versus Visa, which took about 7 years to litigate, about 13 million pages in this case. They wanted about 7 months to litigate, really. And now they got a delay. So Molly, the highlighter girl, she's like, no, they don't need to read all those 13 million pages. I highlighted the appropriate locations for them. I'm going, we don't care about your sticky notes, Molly. Thanks, though. So she's a prosecutor. She's there with the rest of the prosecutors over there, and they're submitting this. Now, this is so curious because in the district court for the District of Columbia, we see this motion. It's a joint status report and the government's unopposed motion for an extension of time. Jack, well, I thought you were ready like now. Why do you need a delay? Oh man, that's so embarrassing. On August 3rd, the court issued an order from Judge Chutkan, right? She got the case back like that day. She's like, I can't wait to see everybody back here. She's like, I'll see you here tomorrow, right? Said it immediately. Ordering a status conference being scheduled on August 16th and directed the parties to confer and to file by August 9th, that's today, a joint status report that proposes a schedule for pretrial proceedings moving forward, right? So she already scheduled a court date for next week. Like, get your booties in here. We're going to talk about it and schedule it. Now, the parties have conferred. So the prosecutors have met with Trump's team. Now, the government, Jack, who's not even a real boy, continues to assess the new precedent set forth last month in the Supreme Court decision in Trump's immunity case. Huh? You continue to assess it, Jack? See, this is more what you would actually expect. Like, actually, this is kind of what we would expect, right? Jack was not supposed to be working on this case at all, actually. So it should take a lot of time. Now, the fact that he is not playing catch, right, with Chutkan is what's so embarrassing about this, because she just set him up. So they say, all right, look, including through consultation with other DOJ components, saying a special counsel shall comply with the rules and practices of the DOJ, and we must consult with other appropriate offices within the department for guidance and with respect to established practices, policies, and procedures. Now, although those consultations are underway, the government has not finalized its position on the most appropriate schedule for the parties to brief issues related to the decision. Wow. The government therefore respectfully requests additional time to provide the court with an informed proposal regarding the schedule for pretrial proceedings moving forward. Jack is floundering. Wow. The defense does not object to the government's request for an extension, obviously. Okay, Trump's people have been asking for an extension forever. Now, you'll notice in this motion, we're going to hear from John Bolton in a minute, but he's going to explain, well, no, this is because of department policies and that they can't prosecute people in the run-up in the months leading up to an election, which is all total hogwash, okay? The DOJ doesn't follow their own policies. So the defense never would object to an extension here. And if Jack were complying with some departmental policy, like they're not going to have a trial or something within 60 days of an election or 120 days or 6 months or whatever, right? They just make it up. It doesn't really matter. So Trump is saying, yeah, push it out, man. We don't care, idiots. We'll take it all the way up till the, to the end of past the election. So accordingly, the government requests that the court enter an order requiring the parties to submit another joint status report by Friday, August 30th, and continuing the scheduled status conference until a convenient day thereafter. Judge Chutkan, that August 16th date is not a good date. So we need more time. Now, the government is available any day after August 30th. And the defense is unavailable on September 6th, which is a hell of a day. So that's why they're unavailable. And they're unavailable the week of September 16th, which is the sentencing. Okay, so those are the two New York dates. So respectfully submitted by Molly, John Lauro, and Todd Blanche. And so Jack is in trouble. Why, oh why is he not ready? And so here's some other reaction. There's people like this guy, you know him, Norm Eisen. He's just a mental case on with whatever news agencies he's on. He's all over the place, CNN, all the things. Kind of a TDS maniac. But he says, look, respectfully, I think Jack Smith and his request for additional time to figure out a position is a mistake. Yeah, well, what's he gonna do? His case is trash, and he's not even a real boy. Now, most of the case survives, as we explain in our report, color-coded indictment. The red is out. Okay, so this is his analysis, but the rest is certainly or likely in. Okay, so that's just his analysis of the indictment. Okay, so from a leftoid, here's what he's saying. This is the indictment. All of the red is out. Oops, that's a full page. That's a full page. That's a full page. Just goes on and on and on. Now, the other stuff, the orange, maybe the yellows are questionable, and maybe the greens stay in. Not a lot of green in there. Jack Smith's indictment is crap, just like his career and his fake existence as a prosecutor stealing money from all of us. Now, here's what Trump said. He says, look, it is clear that the Supreme Court's historic decision on immunity demands and requires a complete and total dismissal of all the witch hunts. The January 6th hoax in Washington, D.C., the case we're talking about, the Manhattan DA's zombie case, the New York AG Tish's scam, fake claims about a woman I never met with a 40-year-old photo in a lineup with her husband doesn't count. That's E. Jean Carroll. Bergdorf got Bergdorf in a dressing room at Bergdorf's. And Georgia's perfect phone call. Now, the Democrat Justice Department coordinated all of these political attacks, which are an election interference conspiracy against crazy Kamala Harris and crooked Joe Biden's political opponent, me. Now, let's come together to end the weaponization of our justice system and make America great again. Now, just to show you sort of what they're talking about over here, here is Bolton on with CNN. It's just fake what they're saying. He's talking about that it's about DOJ policy, that they can't go and prosecute him before the 2024 election. It's like, hello? Chutkan has specifically said that she would do that. On record. She'll hold a trial in August, September. She didn't give a crap. John?
Ambassador John Bolton is here. It's great to have you. Ambassador, when you hear this, what do you read into Jack Smith asking for more time from the judge to kind of sort through this when he's actually typically been the one pushing to get this case in trial in court faster?
Okay, listen to this Cope.
Well, I think it's less Jack Smith than it is dealing with the rest of the Justice Department on two levels. First, I think this question of timing and what can be done or not be done pursuant to Justice Department policy before an election is going to take some time to resolve, because there's never been a case like this. It's another piece of uncharted territory of how much they're actually going to be able to do in September, October. But I think the other issue is the Supreme Court decision on immunity is an extraordinarily broad decision. It's wrong in many respects, in my view. One respect in which it's wrong is that it's too simplistic in its assessment of how the executive branch works. And I think within the Justice Department, you have a lot of components that have responsibility for protecting the executive branch, but also prosecuting criminals. And before Jack Smith plunges ahead with whatever his view of how to interpret that immunity decision is, the rest of the department has to come to agreement. And I think there's probably a lot of discussion, and that's a big cause of the delay.
Okay, so he basically said nothing there. Like, they're just talking. They'll have to talk about different things and prosecuting other criminals and how this impacts other cases. This is a special counsel case. They've already been racing this case to trial. The fact that Jack Smith is backpedaling right now means their case is not good. He's scrambling to try to figure out what to do about it. And even Norm Eisen's color-coded indictment analysis shows huge swaths of this case, at least in the red, orange, and yellow. Not good. Certainly or likely in. I don't think so. That's a good Cope there. We'll be here continuing to cover this case and more. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you're watching it so we don't miss you on the next one.